Welcome to Creamer Media's Polity. I'm Brindaveni Naidoo. With me in studio, I have Khumbuzile Zuma of the Mvula Trust, the largest non-governmental organization supporting water and sanitation development in South Africa, and also representing Nowisa and the End Water Poverty campaign of the Water Aid to discuss water security in Africa. Welcome, Khumbuzile. Could you outline for us some of the water and sanitation challenges in Africa?
Well, it's quite a mouthful, you know. I mean, in Africa in general, we have so many problems. They start from the fact that we have very little water. So it's the issue of quantity, it's the issue of quality because of pollution, because of industrialization. So most of our water resources are really very polluted. More than that, we have challenges that are facing our poor community where there isn't water infrastructure at all. So we really are very far behind in terms of achieving the MDG goals, which look at bridging the gap and the backlog. So we are still far, and most people don't have access to water resources. And because we have issues of people that are coming into South Africa, so we have to deal with that at the same time. So it's not just an issue of water alone, but it's also an issue that is have an impact on the housing development. So it's very complicated, really.
You have been vocal in the past about the G8 Water Partnership. What are some of your impressions on this agreement?
I think the G8 Africa Partnership is meant to be for the good cause. But what is happening is that there seem to be promises every year, and there are no concrete plans, and therefore there are no actions. And just hearing people announcing that they're going to be allocating a particular budget, which then the following year it would be cut to say about half of what they had promised without them having done anything really. So that is a bit of a problem. And also in terms of the fact that if you have G8 summit going on, at least I'm referring to the G8 summit this year, we had a meeting that started, I mean the G8 leaders started having meetings and only on the last day is that they had a meeting with the African leaders. And for me that says I'm really worried about how deep they went into discussing issues that are facing Africa. So for me that was really very superficial.
Okay, let's shift our focus to South Africa. In terms of our water and sanitation challenges, what are some of the practical solutions that you could suggest?
In my own view, I see a lot of duplication of programs. I see new people coming into the sector and promising to solve the challenges that are faced in the water and sanitation sector. And I see that every year going on. I mean, it's also in all areas really, and natural resources management. That's what's been happening. And you see people that are dealing with social issues, just discussing the social issues outside of the infrastructural issues, the engineering or the hardcore scientific issues. So, and there's a lot of work that's been done in the past years up until now, but people still separate these issues, and also they bring in new programs that are in their own opinion are different from the other. But I think it's high time that we realize that we have done these things. We have solutions that are stored somewhere. It's just that we do not want to go back and re-look at what have we done before. At Mvula Trust, for example, we have a people-centered approach, which we try to bring in every program of sanitation or water services. That program is in line with what the people themselves, the poor people, are feeling. So, and we would like them to be involved in the planning by the local government, in the planning by the various water services providers. So that way we shouldn't again in 5 years' time come back and say, oh yeah, we have a people-centered approach. that we are implementing in our programs. But what we should be doing is that we should be consolidating the efforts of each and every one in the sector. And that way we're going to be saving the resources. I'm talking about the people, the skills, I'm talking about the finances. We're going to be saving quite a lot. But if you're duplicating, we're going to continue to have problems.
Why are these issues important to South Africa?
For South Africa, we all know that South Africa is looked at by other countries in Africa as a model democratic country, and that in itself means a country that has principles of people putting people first, which we call Batopele, and it's about human rights. So within human rights, we're talking about providing the basic services, such as having water to drink, that's and having water for hygienic purposes. So all these issues are very important to our country, and we need to be showcasing to other countries what we have delivered, what we have done, and not just for South Africa but for other countries as well. How are we supporting them? I mean, our Water Act is very advanced. If you look at it, I mean, other countries, even not just African countries, they're looking at our policy as the most advanced policy. But now the challenge is, how do we implement what we say in the policy? Because again, if we don't implement, then there's a question about how realistic is our policy, how realistic is our act. Then are we being fake again? Are we proving what we seem to be preaching we are? So these are important for the African Water Week, because they are going to be, people that are looking for a model or looking for best practices from South Africa. So we need to be showcasing what we have done. We should be having a lot of case studies that are showing how we have served the communities that are poor, because we have to realize that now we are looking at the grassroots communities, not the middle class that much. I think we've done quite a bit in there, and I think it's high time that we deal with people on the ground. So the African Water Week is really going to be focusing all the eyes on us, and we need to be very good in saying, what have we done, how much have we gone, and knowing that the South Africa is going to be chairing the AMCOR, taking over the chairmanship in the AMCOR, which is the African Ministerial Forum in a way. So we need to be proving all these things, and it's going to be a challenge, but yeah.
Thank you, Khumbuzile.
Thank you.
That was Khumbuzile Zuma of the Mvula Trust, speaking on Africa's water and sanitation crisis.